President Donald Trump has announced that the United States will permit the importation of up to 300,000 metric tons of ground beef over the next 3 months without additional import tariffs. Trump stated this agreement ensures the beef will be sold at 25% below current market prices, aiming to lower grocery costs for American families. However, lawmakers and cattle industry groups have heavily criticized the move. They argue that flooding the market with cheap foreign beef will severely harm domestic ranchers and disrupt efforts to rebuild the American cattle herd, which is currently at its lowest size since the 1950s. Artificial intelligence startup Anthropic is preparing for what could be one of the largest initial public offerings on record, potentially seeking a valuation of around $2 trillion. However, the company is expected to highlight public pushback against artificial intelligence as a major risk factor in its upcoming prospectus. Recent surveys show 7 in 10 Americans oppose the construction of new data centers in their communities, and politicians are increasingly restricting such developments. Since computing capacity directly drives the revenue of these tech giants, any slowdown in infrastructure expansion could threaten the historic growth rates that global investors have come to expect. Businesses and investors around the world are preparing for the severe economic impacts of an approaching El Niño weather pattern. Companies in the food and chemical sectors are already outlining contingency plans for potential supply chain disruptions. The European Central Bank warns that a strong El Niño could drive up global food commodity prices by as much as 9% over the next 16 months. Historically, the phenomenon has caused trillions of dollars in global income losses due to extreme weather destroying crops and flooding factories. With ocean temperatures significantly higher than average, economists fear this cycle could be especially destructive to global markets.